So make sure to like, subscribe, set those notifications. We want you guys live with us, get the plays in real time to get the best numbers. And before we get underway, just a couple things that you know about our promo code. You can save 20% off all premium pick packages. When you use that promo code TonyT at checkout, you can access our page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, then get signed up. Always love to hear from you guys, so post your picks in the comments. And visit our site, TonySpicks.com. We are a multi-capper site showcasing top cappers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers, get signed up to some of our long-term passes. Some of our hot cappers like Ramon, you see those numbers been outstanding here for the year, over 5,300 units of profit. Nick, Martini, fantastic. Mindy as well. Hollywood Sam, winning Steam Crew, producing winners, as you can see here for the year. Also like to mention some over the last 7 days, our GM VIP, runs Tony's VIP account there. He's been hot. Collins as well, Daniel as well as Rafi coming in, some of our newer cappers, Ralph and Rafi coming in with some good performance. Good to see Pravi back here up on the leaderboards as well, and Term everyone as well. So lots of great cappers here on our site. And of course, guys, let's go ahead and let's get this one underway here for you today on a Tuesday. We'll go ahead. This is Ramon and I today, so we'll bring in Ramon right now. Ramon, what's happening?
Well, I'm just trying to get over it, Tony. We'll never win anything in San Diego, but that's okay. It was a great run by the Aztecs. Congratulations to them and to the Connecticut Huskies. Little bummed. I know we gave out Connecticut, but we knew they were the better team with really not so much. I say that yes, Connecticut is a team that certainly had a historic run, but I think they were just so much better than this field. I don't know if it was one of the best teams of all time to win the championship, but certainly one of the best performances in March Madness history by the Connecticut Huskies, tournament-wise.
Might have been, in my eye, might have been the worst field of college basketball teams ever in an NCAA tournament, based on how poor the shooting was. Seems to get worse and worse. It was it's really a factor of what's happened over the years with these freshman players leaving early, and of course, again, in my lifetime, I've seen great college basketball growing up here in the '80s, early '90s. But Ramon, when these folks are allowed to leave for the NBA early on, you can definitely see the difference in talent.
And we'll see, we'll see if NIL will keep some of them home. I think we will see that. And now that we're kind of getting past that extra year of eligibility here, maybe that'll change things a bit as well. Now that does, put emphasis on youth, but there's only so many places you can go. And I think options now for collegiate players, now that they can get paid, maybe delay their departure to other countries to play professionally, or maybe even if the NBA is an option, that can help. But nonetheless, Connecticut was just heads above everybody else, for sure.
Yeah, I think the only way we're going to get a really top quality product is just to shrink the field, get a super conference out there. I don't think it would be good for anybody, but I'm just saying if you want better overall quality of play, 350 plus teams isn't really going to help.
Yeah, and there's just the pie is too big. Those teams can still cash in, especially those teams that travel around. So that's not going to change. The only change that maybe we see is the 90-team field to the NCAA tournament, and that'll be even a bigger slice of pie. So not sure that portion of it's going to change at this
more, and then just more missed shots and more bad shooting, and that's really what people get exposed to. In this, if we follow it every day, we deal with it, we handicap it to our advantage. But again, now that we get a lot of the casual viewers watching it, that's not aesthetically pleasing to them. Seeing teams miss 2/3 of their shots and a team hitting 40%, 42% and raising their banner, and people just can't view that as championship material. Back in the days when teams would hit 50%. Remember the old Kansas teams, 50% from the field, 40% from three. Those days are long gone. And when you can't shoot, there's even more and more emphasis on defense, and that's really what we got now in college basketball. But again, we like it, but again, it's a far cry from the NBA, and of course you understand why NBA players like Darren Fox says they won't watch college basketball, and it's true. So he does blame a bit of the coaching, but I don't know there's so much you can do. There's just too many teams right now to really round out a really high quality product that we saw back in the 80s, maybe early 90s and beyond. It's just not going to happen. All right, let's get here on the show here as we put a close to the college basketball season. Ramona, how did it go for you overall college?
Well, the numbers would say we had a pretty strong season,
Yeah.
especially once we got into kind of the postseason and everything. So I'm disappointed that college basketball season is over. Yeah, non-conference was a little rough for me as far as getting my feet above water. But once we hit conference play, and you know how it goes, Tony, when you have more of that comparative edge to look at the matchups, that's where we started to smash it and finished well into the green in college basketball, the way you're supposed to finish there. And I had I had the under, so it's ended. I finished on a 9 game winning streak in the postseason with premium plays until that championship game. It did sneak over, but that was a pretty good run
Yeah,
as well. So.
very good run from Ramon. Of course, we'll look forward to college basketball when it's back in November. It just seems like it starts earlier. I always predicted that at some point there's going to be a Halloween open to the season, Ramon. I think we may see that at some point.
No, just every season in every sport starts earlier and ends later. So I don't know. We put those kind of biases behind us. I think just let them do whatever they want. But we'll be ready handicapping wise and ready to roll. So don't get us into college basketball just yet, Tony. We're
I
trying to
won't.
work
I won't. I won't. I'm just again. It's another 8. How much is it? These things about 4 and 11 is what 7, right? We're 7 months away from the start of college basketball, so we got plenty of time. College football is a little sooner than that, right? We're getting into August. We're still 4.5 months from there, so it's not too far away. We're back to the colleges now. It's pretty much pros in the picture. And here we go, as we got a big one tonight out here in LA. I know I had a friend of mine was texting me, telling me from Canada, telling me they couldn't believe how cheap these tickets were. I said, well, because Dodgers baseball is the Dodgers are at home. That's why these tickets go down for the Kings. But anyway, Edmonton and the Kings. This is an interesting game tonight. There's a lot on the stake here. First place on the line here. We know this one here. I don't know if we got the lines might have been crossed here, but anyway, Edmonton taking on the Kings here. We see a total 6.5.
Yeah, Tony, this is a big one. Both teams playing so well in the division. They are trailing Las Vegas right now with 103 points. The Kings have 100 points. Edmonton 99. So everything is still in play.
By the way, these are the correct lines. I couldn't believe how big of a favorite Edmonton is, but these are the correct lines. It's big. I saw an open here a plus 100 Edmonton. Now minus 145. That's big.
Yeah, and there's not much to say as far as the shift, other than maybe the motivations of the team. The Kings injury report, not a big deal. Anderson's out, Edler might be out. He left the last game, so that hurts the Kings defensively if those guys can't go. And maybe Edmonton, they've won 4 straight, 9 of their last 10 with an overtime game in there. Kings nearly as hot, 7-2-1 in their last 10. Skinner goes for Edmonton. Phoenix Copley in there for the Kings. Now Skinner has had a great season too. So all these Edmonton guys, maybe you know the names with Connor McDavid, Draisaitl, and Nugent Hopkins, Hyman joining them there as well. But the Kings, they're having an historic season for them as well. Man, this is the best team since the early '70s. Tony, come on, let's face it. They've been getting a bad rap. The record speaks for itself now. The Kings are putting together really one of their best seasons of all time. Now they just played last week. Edmonton won that game just 2-0 at home. Maybe they're looking at that, but back in January here in LA, it was 6-3 Kings, and 12 of the last 19 games in LA have gone over with 2 pushes. Now Edmonton is a chronic over team, 26-11 on the road this season. Really, a majority of their games have gone. A vast majority of their games have gone over this season. They're 51-23 to the over. Now the Kings have gone under in 4 straight. They maybe have the better defense. They do have the better defense, and it's starting to rear its head a little bit, but. We talk about the motivation, yes, because these two, maybe they're going to get locked into 2 and 3, though. Maybe it won't be a big deal. So I'm just kind of wondering, people are kind of talking about it today, talking about this game, about defensive intensity and why 6.5 might be too high. I'm not so sure I see it that way. I think these two teams know they're probably headed for a 7-game series in the playoffs, Tony. Quite frankly, they might be matching up. Quite possibly, yeah. One of these teams could jump up, pass up Vegas. One of them could fall down. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. They might get locked up right here, just as they are. Maybe they'll switch. The Kings are 100 points. Edmonton's 99 right now. Maybe that could flip flop just by happenstance with not even focusing. Sure, you're going out trying to win every game, but you're not going to win them all, and you lose one here or there. Who knows? Both teams with 45 wins. The Kings have just one less loss, and they look like, as evenly matched as they are, they could just end up in a 7-game series. And yes, home ice advantage is important in that, but 7 games, one team wins on road ice, the other team wins on their opponent's home ice as well, and that's topsy-turvy. So maybe there could be a little more lax tonight. That's the way I feel about this game. I'm still going to take the over with these two teams capitalizing on the fact that yes, these are still two of the top offensive teams scoring in the league right now, and Edmonton continues to prove that time and time again. Sure, it was 2-0 last week, but how long can you keep the great Edmonton offense? Those guys are just clicking right now better than they have all season. And certainly LA getting it done as well on the offensive end of the ice. So I'm going to look to these guys. I would say it's the norm for these two teams to go over. I want to go over 6.5 tonight in Edmonton and LA at the Crypto.com Center with these two teams, Tony. I think that the defensive intensity, which is really the main factor sometimes in these games when they're going high and low, I think it goes the other way. I know that, yes, important game. I think both teams know that as well. But pull back the curtain a little bit, and maybe it's more about, well, here we are. We're involved in this team. We're going to see them, 5, 6, 7 times in the playoffs if we keep this position, second place and third place. I'm not saying like, oh, don't tip your hand. It's not like football or anything like that, but maybe not as much, knowing that these two teams have a big future against one another, it looks like, here in the Pacific Division in that first round.
All right, Ramon, here goes Oilers Kings over 6.5. Of course, when these teams met in LA, it was a 6-3 win for the Kings. Kings put up 6 goals. I don't think the Kings can win a defensive battle. They need a wide open approach. I think that's why I kind of see your hand there with the over. We saw that those tight checking games. Just don't think the Kings can match up physically. They got to get out in open ice. That is their game. It can get a little scrappy. It can get a little sloppy sometimes, but that's the Kings' game. That's the way they win games. They got to open it up. And of course, one thing to note here, Ramon, I don't think the Kings and Oilers are going to really meet in the first round. This is why, if Oilers win this game, look at who they finished with. I mean, they got an easy schedule. They got Anaheim tomorrow, San Jose, then they're at Colorado, then they close at San Jose. I think they're going to pick up a lot of points to close the season.
Well, they'll have to pass the Vegas Golden Knights, and it's been interesting, right? That whole transition for the Golden Knights, especially with Quick now, Brossoit in goal for them as well. So they haven't necessarily faded on top, but they don't look like the team that's better than Edmonton or the Kings at this point. So that makes the Pacific Division kind of fun. And look at the way these three teams played in the month of March. They're not necessarily playing each other right now in all these games. The Pacific Division is the hottest division in hockey as far as the number of wins, especially by these top teams right now. All three are producing breakneck speed, these victories right now. So will one of these teams come out of the Pacific Division and emerge in the Western Conference? Quite likely, I would say, the way they're playing. So they'll have some real battles, I would imagine, over the next a month or so as we get into the playoffs. So looking forward to a lot of late nights.
Yeah, a lot of late nights indeed there, Ramon here. Oilers Kings over the total here of 6.5 goals. And of course, this one will have a start time here of 10:30 Eastern time. It does get the big platform tonight. This one will be on ESPN. All right, Ramon. I'm thinking about something here. We don't have Mindy on the show, and of course, there was no morning steam. And I know, I can ask you to do this because you have the ability to do something like this. And I was thinking out of the box here. We have a big baseball card. I just thought maybe you could just, since you weren't on a morning steam, we could just do a quick rundown here on baseball. I got the technology here now to roll, and I thought maybe we could just go through the card. You could just give a quick synopsis. You don't have to go too in depth. And I know you're not prepared for this. If you're not cool with it, then we could just go on to the next game, because I just thought of this since we have all this tech in front of me here. So we'll start off here top with this one here, and about top of the hour, Diamondbacks and Padres. Padres 144, a total of 7.
Yeah, we see you, Darvish, in this one. Tony making his first start. I think for Darvish, the Padres are starting with a 6-man rotation because they really get no days off early on like some of the other teams. So that's why they're running some of the pitchers out there that they are. The Diamondbacks have actually done a nice job offensively. Saw them, I thought, perform pretty well in their first series against LA. So maybe a cheap price here on the Padres. When you take a look at that, let me have my odds screen up here while we do this with baseball here. Thank you. At about $1.50 or so today. I would think, Tony, and I'm going to stick by this, and I'm going to go over in this game with you as a call here. For me, Tony, I continued to explain it, and I put it in the Discord. I hope everybody saw that. Yesterday I said in the show, Tony, that the runs are coming. Yep. And indeed, 13-2 yesterday. Now I think one more time, once we go around. Now Gallen's already been out there once. They did lose that game with him. He looked okay. He looked pretty good. Okay for certain. But again, just the fact that we see more kind of unprecedented offense in little areas each night with minor record setting, if you will, or historic performance of something that hasn't been done in a while. We're starting to see that almost every night right now. I'll take over 7 runs, Diamondbacks and Padres.
All right, there we go, Ramon. This is just a rundown, no morning steam. I'm just thinking maybe we can fit this into the Tuesday show. We'll get Mindy in and out, and then we'll go with Ramon. Maybe we can work that out. I'm sure Ramon is more than capable of doing this. He's, as you guys know, a top performer in this industry without a doubt, as you can see in the records book. All right, Darvish, of course, got that World Baseball Classic. That's why he's starting a little later in the season. Let's get to the next one on the board here, and we've got. Let's see. The shortcut should be working. Hang on one second here. What did we got here? Oh, actually, I did not attach this to my scoreboard. So let me go here and manually select it then. Thought I had it hooked. Thought I had my scoreboard on my shortcut, but I don't. So I'll just do the manual roll. Here we go. All right, next one up, Ramon. We've got here the Cubs at the Reds, 6:40 Eastern time. One of those early starts here tonight. We got the Cubs road favorites, $1.25, total of 9.
This one's in Cincinnati. Give me the over. Well, I'm not kidding, of course. I'm going to look for this one to get into double-digit runs, I would think, tonight with the Cubs and the Reds. Wisniewski, we saw him quite a bit last year. Sessa in there for Cincinnati. Yeah, I think over might be the call. You see the Cubs getting slight favoritism here. They've been pretty okay so far looking, but not in the win column with just 1 victory. So I'm not so sure. Maybe the chemistry won't be there necessarily yet for the Cubs. They had a tough series, of course, against the Brewers. So Reds got off to a pretty good start right now, and they're an underdog at home. I'll take the over, but the dog price interests me, certainly, with the Reds.
All right, I'll continue on here on a little rundown here. Morning steam, not morning steam style. I'm just trying to get a play on words here. We just thought of something here on the whim here with Ramon. Since there's no morning steam, we'll get to the next game here as we've got Twins and Red Hot Twins. And look at this, right? You could have got the Twins at 130, now 136 here. Of course, we got the big guy on the mound here for Miami, Sandy Alcantara, but you got to hit it as well. You got to get him runs. And we saw our man Maeda coming off Tommy John surgery. He missed about 1.5 years, so he's coming back in the fold here for the Twins. Twins have been hot at the plate. Marlins not. We see the total at 7.
Yeah, and we're definitely seeing pressure to the under in this one. Maybe this will be the under of the day with Alcantara. If you think about it, Sandy would be the stopper, if you will, for any team, I would think. So that's what they'll look to do. And he is garnering favoritism here. But to me, I've got to think at that price, I'd be looking. The Twins look like they mean business to me. And I would think at this price, at $1.30, I'd probably look to the Twins, even against Sandy in this one. Maeda, interesting option here, certainly. But Twins playing pretty well. I would say mixed bag here, but I'd probably look to the underdog here with the Twins. Miami's got to, yeah, you're right, got to fix that offense right now.
Offense got to fix. Let's get to the next game here on the lineup here. Rays and Nationals here. As you see the big number here on these Rays at 7 Eastern time. Fleming's been a guy that's been beat up a lot. He's been one of sometimes in the opening, actually not in the open role. He is going to be a long inning guy. He may start. He may be the long inning guy. We don't know because they may put an opener in front of him. That's kind of the word in this one. Chad Kuhl coming over from the Rockies. Well, guess what? You're with the Nationals now in this one. Rays big favorites in this one, total 9.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better. The Nationals. Well, right now just one win. Tampa Bay, their first 4-0 start in team history. I had to go and back check that when I saw that note come out. But hey, I guess when you're playing in the AL East and they probably open up in the division most of the time, maybe that's why. So first 4-0 start for Tampa. Pretty big price on the road for anybody, but Fleming done a nice job here. I think it only goes one way for me when you're talking about a game in Washington right now and the way things are trending for me. I'm going to look to the over in this one with the Rays and the Nats today. The move's definitely on the over, mostly opened 8.5 around the books, and definitely looking at a juiced up 9 at this point. So money on the over, 75% of the public, I'll be with them.
All right, there you go, Ramon here on the over, guys. This is a game day picks. We're kind of doing a little morning steam style. Without Mindy here, Mindy needs a day off, but Ramon says I can do 7 days. I said, well, okay, let's just do this impromptu. I came up with this impromptu idea just to do a baseball rundown on Tuesdays with Ramon. Maybe we'll insert NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs when we get to that point because there is no morning steam Tuesday. So we'll continue on here with Ramon. Next game here up in the lineup for today, we got the Phillies and the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Strom versus Domingo Germán on the hill here. We see the Yankees $1.50, total 8.5.
Yeah, here, Tony, maybe this one could be my underplay with Strom and Domingo Germán. Hey, no doubt for right now for the Phillies, I'm not so sure that that 0-4 start. I mean, that was a disastrous weekend that went on in Texas. Phillies without their two big stars in that lineup right now, with the Yankees at home. Pretty big price. I guess you could think about laying it with the Yankees. This is one I'll take under on, though. I do, again, I'm going to hard over on everything at this point, Tony, but tonight, look, maybe this one stays under with the Phillies and the Yanks. 2/3 the public certainly on the over in this one, but for me, let's look to go under.
All right, join here with Ramon Scott. No morning steam, so we're doing the baseball rundown here with Ramon. Let's continue on here with our rundown. Pirates and the Red Sox. Lots of runs scored here. Even the Pittsburgh Pirates can score against this Red Sox lineup. But still the line still in the single digits. I thought we might see it go higher, but we're not. Here in this one, we got these are two pitchers that give up contact, given up home runs, give up base runners. Contreras here on the mound here for the Pirates, as he will be taken on here. Let me pull up my pitching screen here. Nick Pivetta, who's had his issues as well. So we see here the Red Sox 145 in this game.
Yeah, and this one's actually ticked downward to the under, but I'm not sure I see it that way. It looks like these Boston games have runs in them, and I would think if I can keep it here at 9, look, I mean, some books, even the biggest book in the country right now, is down to 9 under 30. If this thing ticks down, of course, I'll probably buy a half a run and go down, but I'm looking to go over in this game with Boston and Pittsburgh right now, the way the runs came out of Fenway to open up. Boston certainly in a spot where both teams 2-2. Nick Pivetta is going to be in your rotation. They're favored. They're about $1.45 or so. I'll look to go over with Pittsburgh and Boston.
Over there at Pittsburgh. Why not? Boston's over. I like to call them the Boston Blue Sox because you see a lot of Dodger Blue in those lineups, but not their pitching. Not the pitching. All right, let's continue on here. Run down here, joined by Ramon Scott. Blue Jays and the Royals. Royals get off the schneid yesterday, but the odds here are huge here. Toronto here with Kikuchi on it. Kikuchi is laying minus 165, but it's Bobek on the mound here for the Twins, total of 10.
Yeah, two lefties. That's not going to change things for me. And look at that total, Tony. It's up to 10 right now. You'd got to think. And look, I think the bookmakers are on to what I'm saying, and I'm not saying they're listening to me, but I'm just telling you that the metrics of it all point to the fact that once these pitching staffs start to break down, that's what we're going to see is more run. I mean, I don't know. Could it be a record-setting season for runs? I'm seeing just one injury note that might have just come across in the game. Let's see what it is, Tony. Austin Hedges hits the disabled list with a concussion, so he's on the 7-day injured list. That for the Pirates. So that one just coming across right now. That was definitely the update. So not a big deal there, but Hedges certainly going to get plenty of action behind the plate. Yeah, for me, I'll look to go. I'm not too concerned about Kikuchi as I am about Bubic here, but Kansas City, that was them with that lost weekend. They did pick up the victory. Both teams 1-3 right now. Toronto not doing much at this point. Let's take another over here, Tony, and it's at 10 now. Hey, good thing we have this show because I hadn't finalized many premiums yet, actually, and hadn't even gotten a package together because I did want to see a few lineups that are starting to come out. So I appreciate the opportunity. I'll take over in Toronto and Kansas City.
Yeah, and keep an eye there with Kikuchi. He does have issues with walks, and I've been one to say that he doesn't complain enough about locations because they just don't seem to give him the corners for some reason, especially in that start against KC last year. I remember that one vividly. Here we go. ESPN Plus has the Brewers and the Mets. We covered this game a bit yesterday as the Brewers had the big barrage of runs, 10-0 win. We'll see today. Scherzer on the hill. It's not going to be Burns. It's going to be Miley. So they go to Miley, the lefty here. There was some listings for Burns yesterday, but looks like they switched to Miley. So the odds here have the Mets minus 145. Total sits here at 8.
Yeah, with Max in there today, I'd probably take my chances here with Max and lay this number. I don't know, it might be reasonable at about $1.45, $1.50 here in this one. You're at Milwaukee. You certainly have things to prove. Both teams have 3 wins so far. We know Wade Miley can get through some stuff, pretty crafty veteran in there. Again, this one's another total that we've seen move up. Opened 8 under, 8 flat, but now we're looking at 8 juice to the over pretty much everywhere, even with this game with Max. So I'll take Max though here in this one. Take the Mets on the road against the Brewers as a favorite.
All right, everyone likes Mad Max here on the road as a favorite. See if there's some revenge in this one after losing 10-0 yesterday afternoon. All right, we'll continue on the rundown with Ramon here. Remember, there's no morning team on Tuesday, so I just did an impromptu thought came to mind. Okay, I've got all these great graphics. Let's just do a Ramon rundown here in baseball. Here we go, Atlanta and the Braves here. We've got St. Louis here laying 131. Total sits here at 9.5. And we've got on the mound here for tonight, we've got Dylan Dodd, a call up here for Atlanta, and he'll be facing Steven Matz, the well-traveled lefty.
Yeah, Dodd makes his major league debut, and this one's a 10. This total's 10. It opened as low as 8.5 under. So here you have another in public all over this one. Probably 85% of the action coming in on the over. That's the way I would look. I got big-time runs in a lot of games tonight until further notice, especially at the back end of some of these rotations. Like I said, once we get around to number ones again, Tony, I'll probably dial it back just a notch because maybe they won't be facing. I mean, here we talked about a situation like Gallen and Darvish. I'm not equating Darvish to a back end. I'm just saying that he was a number 6 rotation pitcher this week. If he wasn't Yu Darvish type of thing, if he was a real number 5 or a number 6 going up against the top of the order for the other team, maybe I'd start to think that maybe an under, especially if the bookmakers are starting to slide it up and cheat a little bit on those overs. But in this one, I've got another over here with the Braves in St. Louis. You mentioned it, Dodd in his major league start. Steven Matz now well-traveled at this point, still trying to, I don't know, resurrect, make a career for himself, or whatnot. He's had a fine career, but never reached expectations here with St. Louis. Maybe he could contribute to a successful franchise, but certainly two decent teams with postseason aspirations. Brave off to a good start, 3-1.
All right, there you go, Ramon. Here. Welcome to the morning. Actually, not the morning scene. Game day picks. Mindy on day off, and of course, no show. We're just going to do a nice little baseball rundown. Just came up with an impromptu thought. I have all this technology. I can start to improve and bring in scores, data, and just have Ramon do the rundown to make up for the lack of morning steam on Tuesday. This seems like a lot of fun. Some of you guys in the chat room appreciate all the compliments there from guys there. We'll get to every game in baseball, so I know a lot of folks have bringing up questions here about the games. We're going to get to every game. Orioles and Rangers tonight, 8 Eastern time. Fell way under the number yesterday. Everybody was, that was a premium for me yesterday. I fell on my face on that over yesterday. But anyway, Orioles and the Rangers. Kyle Gibson is the starter. We had thought there was they forgot who the man they were going to schedule, but he saw action yesterday, and so Gibson gets put in this spot here against Heaney. The cast-off from Miami, the cast-off from the Dodgers. The Dodgers worked in a little off-speed changeup for him, and he's had success last year with it. But again, he took the Dodgers' knowledge and coaching and is going to try to apply that with Texas here. A Texas 140, total 8.5.
Yeah, it was Kyle Bradish, Tony, and
Yes.
we tried to give out Texas in the game yesterday, and Baltimore did a nice job with a 2-0 victory yesterday, and I thought it would be a high-scoring game, and the fact that it wasn't, I don't know, maybe these two teams have found a little something. I'll look to go under in this one with Baltimore and Texas. Texas with Heaney. We saw him get off to a pretty good start last season with LA, and he looks like the type of guy that comes out of the blocks pretty well. He shows such flash that you really want him to be able to sustain that he could do, but for whatever reason, I think this man ends up suffering from arm fatigue by the time the season really gets rolling around. So maybe teams just aren't using him properly. And, well, I mean, he's in the middle of his career now. So I think you can get another good start from him here from Texas. Sure, Baltimore mashed the ball a little bit, but I'm going to root for pitching in this one. I'm going to take the under with Baltimore and Texas with Gibson and Heaney.
All right, MLB rundown here for Ramon. No morning steam, so we'll do this here on Tuesdays. We'll get back to that game. We're just going to continue with the rotation order. If you guys have questions about a game, we'll get back to it. Let's continue on here on the Major League Baseball rundown here on Game Day Picks. Join Ramon Scott. Tigers and Astros. Tigers pulled the upset last night, but we look at the totally different pitching matchup tonight. Framber is on the hill. Matt Manning on the mound here for Detroit. Houston, 266, total of 8.
Yeah, I just ended up taking a couple of the runs with the Tigers yesterday myself, and that worked out. But like the total yesterday to go under, and it did not. So today, though, I'm going to take another shot with the Tigers. I think Houston I don't know, are they asleep at the wheel right now with their start at this point? I'm glad Detroit got a win. I think Matt Manning here, plus, I'll take him on the run line, I think, with Framber Valdez going for Houston. Talking about getting around on the rotation a little bit, but I don't know. I liked what I saw yesterday. A little bit of heart from Detroit. I'm not sure Houston's coming out the blocks fully motivated yet. What's my line there, Tony? Let me see. You have it on screen, I bet.
238.
I don't. I'll take on the run line here.
Run line minus 1.5 runs, minus 129. That's from the sharpest book in the world.
Oh, I'm taking Detroit on the.
Okay. Plus 1.5 is plus 117.
Thank you. I should have had the lines up here, but like you said, we're kind of on the fly here, but whatever it is, I'm going to be on the Tigers plus 1.5.
Tigers plus 1.5 here from Ramon Scott. Baseball rundown here with Ramon on Tuesday with no morning steam. We're going to fill it in for you here, and we'll have NBA and NHL playoff coverage on Tuesdays as we get to the postseason on Tuesdays with Ramon. Let's continue on here on our rundown with Ramon. Here we go. The Angels off to a good start. Let's keep everyone healthy so we can have a good season for these Angels. We don't want another manager going by the wayside over in Anaheim for a long losing streak. Mariners, this is a team that needs to get off this tonight. Minus 168 here against the Angels in this one, as we got Suarez on the mound for the Angels. Boy, the Luis Castillo, that guy's a stud. That's why you see the number there at minus 168, total 7.5.
Yeah, here's an under I'll get involved with. I don't know if I can lay the Mariners at this point with their 1-4 start, and yeah, the Angels. Hey, what can you say? Let's avoid a 13-game losing streak, and maybe the Angels can stay in the get in the race for a while and bring some excitement, like we expect. Maybe this will be the year that these two stars can keep it together, keep the whole team together, and of course, what they need is pitching. And well, for Suarez, maybe they give him that option today. Here's one spot where I will look to go under. I think Tony with Seattle and LA today. I know the Sharps are going to be there as well. Looks like 2/3 of the action's coming in on the under. We're seeing the sharpest book here in Vegas. It is dipped to 7/30. So this is one game where the line is trending to the under, and that's the way I would look as well.
All right, looking trending there under. Can you hear with our rundown with Ramon? Let's get to game 13 of 14 today. It's the Guardians and the Athletics here. Boy, oh boy, if you got Oakland, you got to be so disgusted. You get 11 runs and you lose. I mean, that's got to be the worst feeling in the world for this Oakland team here. Guardians and the Athletics here. Bieber on the hill, their stud. J.P. Sears on the mound here for Oakland.
Yeah, they've almost seen it all already over the first week or so of games in Oakland, and they might not want to see any more right now. I mean, fans are getting in fights with players practically. Showing a lot of action coming in on the under this one. Public pretty heavy on Cleveland. You're laying really a bit of a discount price. I mean, it opened as high as 200, 205, and now you're down to 180, 185. That's 20 cent value here on Cleveland. Can they keep it up? Man, they did another nice job. They keep coming back. They have it looks like they might have clutch bats this year too with Cleveland. The way they keep fighting back in that game last night with their offense. So that was a good sign, I think. I'll lay the run line here with the Guardians on the road at -1.5 at probably -110, 115.
103, yeah. Sharpest book in the world has -103 there. So Ramon here, Guardians run line. Let's continue here on our rundown. Game 14 of the 14-game card. We got West here. ESPN Plus has this one here between the Rockies and the Dodgers. Ramon Marquez is on the hill here to face Julio Urias.
Yeah, and what do we got here? About a 245 price in this one. That's pretty high, I would think. Even for Urias, Colorado has shown some life. They seem to find a way to piece things together a little bit. And at +1.5 at even money, I'll look to take. I'll take the Rockies on the run line here. They are showing a little bit of life early, as seemingly they do in the early months before the grind really gets to them. And if anybody, one team that maybe can benefit from this new format, Tony, of only 13 games, because we see Colorado, I don't know, they actually seem to step up their play against good teams and fade against a bad team, like they're a motivation type team. Problem with motivation or something. So I'll take them +1.5 here, and maybe with more games outside of this tough division, which I don't know. I'm kind of making an argument that, quite frankly, they do play well against the Padres and the Dodgers and the Giants and the Diamondbacks as well. They seem to play in division pretty well. So maybe I'm just making up because you're making me make it up, Tony. But kidding with you, but nonetheless, we think of Colorado. Maybe they're a good team that could benefit by playing some more out-of-division teams, since the division is so strong. Even though they've held their own, maybe that can help them a little bit in the standings. But tonight, okay, Colorado, they seem to hang in there. And big move on the total here at some of the spots. Some of the spots did open it considerably higher than this, as high as an 8 in there. Most of the books open 7.5, and it's actually ticked up, but some books had it quite a bit higher. Might have been just a bad send-out, though, now that I look at the odds tracking. So let's just leave it at that. Take Colorado +1.5.
6-mile-per-hour wind blowing out tonight in Dodger Stadium. And the Rockies, last year they did it. They hit lefties pretty well, home and away, and they're doing it again this year. Remember, they started on the road averaging over 4 runs a game in places like San Diego and LA, pushing across runs. So that total looked kind of attractive to me as well. Did I think I think I might have gave up what I gave out what I'm giving out later in the show. But again, anyway, we'll get to that in a little bit. But anyway, Ramon, someone asked here about the talk. And again, this is just an impromptu. The thought came to mind. Mindy was off, and it's a Tuesday. It was no morning game. So you know what? We'll just do a Major League Baseball rundown with Ramon. I'll spare him the NBA. I'll spare him that mess right now. But anyway, we'll have a plan going into next Tuesday. Probably we'll factor in the playoffs, play-in rounds. NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll do this on Tuesday, but baseball we'll do the rundown. We'll fit everything in here on game day picks. Someone asked about the total here in this. Let's see. Let's get to the Brewer graphic here. Brewers and the Cardinals. Is that what they asked? No, they didn't ask for that. They asked for the Met game, right? Mets are facing the Brewers, right? I think I've got that one right. Mets. Well, actually, I hit St. Louis, Missouri, not Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Should have known that. Here we go. Mets and the Brewers. Here we've got the total sits at 8, Ramon.
Yeah, again, I think with Max on the mound, they did win with Max early on. We've seen, again, kind of wide movement here, but I don't know. These two offenses, I think even with Max, they could win the game, but I don't know if that's an 8. I think we're going. I'd look to go over. Again, I didn't write out a handicap. I have my, notes penned out for my premiums. Like I said, some of the lineups are starting to come out. I had premiums ready to go in those others. We'll talk about those in just a moment. And I didn't finalize this MLB card yet, so I'm not saying which one of these are premium because I didn't even know, Tony. But you can assure that one or two of these. This one is not, but I do take the over in this game. But you definitely have a premium or two in here. Like I said, I'm not sure which ones they were. Everything is, again, in baseball, right? I say I'm all ready to go last week, and I am, but just want to see more lineups coming out. That's why baseball is kind of my last package. I'm all packaged up and ready to go in those other sports. So you might be getting some decent, I won't say decent quality. They're all decent quality, Tony. I'll go over 8 runs in this one with the Mets and the Brewers. It's Mets and over in Mets and Brewers today. And I do like this as a matter of fact. I noticed it yesterday when you were showing that scoreboard. I was like, we could run this down right here really quick. But anyways, Tony, I'm going to file that one under my steady overs. If I never show up for another show, let's just ride overs here, at least through the All-Star break, Tony, because I stand by what I said. Again, when you see, I know I touched on it. If anybody's watching for the first time, right, look at what the Orioles did. 2 players go 5 for 5 on back-to-back days. The Orioles also score or get 5 stolen bases in each of the first 2 days. Remember, the bases are still technically 90 feet apart from where they measure them, but Tony, the bases themselves, because we know they're bigger, we've all seen the comparisons, right? So the base actually leans 3 inches more towards second base. They didn't put it 3 inches out of bounds in foul territory. So it's 3 inches, and then of course in second base it's not going to, because it has to go forward towards second and first base. So you're getting an extra an inch and a quarter there. That's where a huge difference is. It doesn't seem like 4 inches. Hey, you know what? California is getting 4 more inches of raised water every year. Okay, we know what's going to happen in 500 years. Okay, in baseball, we just took 4 inches off the base paths. It's going to be dozens and dozens of runs that are going to make the defense. We see guys going in with that, oven mitt glove, sliding to one side of the base or another. These things, the shift is the big one for me. Put my bias aside as far as, I want the shift. You need the shift, baseball. That's the one thing you need to keep if you're going to do these other little things. But they're not doing that. So you got left-handed hitters like Juan Soto and these guys going out there and looking like Don Mattingly at this point. And that's going to continue to happen. The left-handed hitter, they're back. I mean, not that they never went anywhere. We know offense is on the rise, but those left-handed hitters for average, they can just bang those one-hop singles to right field right now. You can't even put the second baseman out on the grass like you should be able to. They did that before the shift. So that's what's going to eventually result in a ton of runs. Tony, look at these. National League totals already, 9, 10, So we'll get some
So
overs too.
Matt wants to know: are we going to see 14 over/unders in Coors yet? They haven't played yet in Coors yet this year.
Yes, of course we are. I think we're going to be back in Coors. Look, they did some things to deaden the ball too. We know the humidor situation. Every team can have a humidor now. They're going to have to work on those baseballs and keep them cool once we get to summer for sure, right? I mean, we talk. That's another thing, Tony, and you pointed out perfectly, right? We're in April. Don't forget, this is supposed to be the low time, and we're already. And that's look, Tony. It's been uh, Thursday, Friday, 4 days, whatever it's been, 5 days of games. There's nothing concrete yet. But like I said, the 13-2 to me in one day yesterday, it speaks volumes as to what's going to happen. I'm not chalking that up as a one day. Yeah, maybe the numbers will catch up and you won't see that, but I think it wasn't a fluke necessarily. The 13-2, it's more like the totals are just a notch or two too low. And in baseball, it's a big deal. So again, that's what I think as far as this offense is concerned. I just now start to think that mainstream media is kind of coming around a little bit and will start shouting this out like I am.
That's right. Thought on the Astros.
On the Astros game today.
Overall, what you've seen from the defending world champions.
I think no change. I'm not worried about a slow start with the Astros. I still think the Astros will be there, and I think the rotation is solid enough. Can the bullpen turn in the same type of performance? I don't think it matters. I think they'll still be strong enough, and I think the division might be, play to them a little bit. So certainly, I think the Astros are once again World Series contenders. No problem.
All right, there you go. A rundown here from Ramon Scott here in Major League Baseball. We'll make that a common occurrence on Tuesday with There's No Morning Steam. You'll still get your Ramon rundown here. Yeah, that was pretty fun. Pretty fun.
Yeah,
of course, it was cool to use the graphics. I think people appreciate that. I don't understand. I know our man Andrew Clement wants this. I think we solved that issue. You can see what the games we're covering here. We put a full screen graphic up now to give you that information. So I hope that helps you out there.
Would have had some notes for you. I really just have my.
No. I mean, I didn't. The thing is, this was an impromptu thought that came to mind. I've been playing around with these graphics. It's been all weekend, mapping out these graphics with the line feed and all this stuff. I said, and then yesterday when we were doing the score, I said, this is great for a rundown segment. And I said, well, here on Tuesday, No Morning Steam got Ramon, the perfect guy here to do this without any preparation, without any talk about doing it. I could just impromptu do this, and Ramon would be perfect to handle this without doubt.
Did they fix? I wasn't watching. Do I call somebody for them to fix the Guardians? Though I feel bad.
I guess so. I don't know who to call. It seems every line service I get has that. Always has that. I don't know who to call with that. I really don't. I mean, it's just that they tell us. Well, when you deal with line providers, they get the line from someone else, and someone else has to do it. And that's the problem,
right, That means somewhere, some sports book is probably punching up tickets that still say Indians.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. We had that with Utah Tech and Dixie State or whatever the heck that was, and then we got to get those things fixed. But anyway, there we go. We'll do the rundowns on Tuesday with Ramon. I think you guys like this. I like it, and we got the graphics to support it. You can see the odds and whatnot. And as I said, we're continuing to evolve here with the broadcast. I'm still going to push. We're going to make this thing work great for you guys on camera here. So we've got that rolling. Also, too, and they like the rundowns. Yeah, everybody likes the rundown. Yeah, I think this is going to be really good here on the Tuesday rundown with Ramon.
Yeah, Tony, if I could, before you get your pick, I'll just mention real quick, I do have a 5-pack. I went 2 5-packs in basketball and hockey today, and I gave them for both $30. I mean, my numbers are hot, so let's give out some discounts now that college basketball's over. Usually my 5-packs are a little more expensive. There you see them right there. 5-pack, big card Tuesday, $30. NHL, super hot right now. I was up 31 units in the calendar year in 2022, and I'm already up almost 20 units in 2023 in the NHL. So I've got a 5-pack right there, Tuesday big card 5-pack. Both of them $30 tonight, Tony. And now I think that you helped me whittle down that baseball. I can come up with a premium pack much faster today. Again, like I said, the top 4 or 5 games the lineup has come out. So as much as I was ready for baseball, my flatline results said, get it right, get it right, and I'm gonna crush it tonight in baseball. Probably have a 5 pack there, is what I'm thinking. We got a 5 pack on the huge NBA, 5 pack on the huge NHL. Why not come in with a 5 pack tonight? Stay tuned. All my long-term subscribers know. Hang tight. We'll get those to you. But pick up a 3-day, a 5-day, a 30-day. You see them right there with the prices, and use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all my premium pick packages. I'm on top of those leaderboards, the yearly leaderboards, the monthly leaderboards still. That's the way sometimes I work it, Tony. I think anybody who really follows our records and know about the way we track the records and our accountability, if you will, here on the site. We don't fake the records or anything. I'm a guy that, sometimes if I'm just grinding for a week or two, that's when I hit you. I get a 3-2 yesterday. Okay, got our profit. Boom, let's put in 15 plays a day and go at least 10-5. That'll get it home every single time. So there you see it right there. I'm still Mr. 5,000, and we'll do so and keep it there this week. Big packages tonight, and this is a great gambler's card. This is when everyone's done with college ball now. All the part-timers that are waiting now for the playoffs. Oh, there I am.
Yep. There you go, guys. Got Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. You see the big cards tonight here. 5 cards in this big NBA card. 5 games on this NBA card. Also 5 on the ice from this huge NHL card. So big action here for Ramon. Baseball coming soon. So get on board. Of course, as Ramon mentioned, you go a longer term with Ramon. You want to try him out for 7 days. We have the 7-day All Sports Pass. Get all of Ramon's premium plays for 7 days. That would include, of course, all his NBA, all his NHL, all his baseball here for 7 days. If he gets involved with peripheral sports, that's also there. I know he's into UFC, so the UFC action will be there for sure. So check out Ramon over at Tony's Picks. Remember that 7-day pass, you can save 20% off right now off that premium pick package when you use that. And any of the packages up there, when you use the promo code TonyT at checkout, you can access Ramon's page by clicking the link you see in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, and then you'll land right on Ramon's page. Go ahead and get signed up. And, of course, get ready to roll over Ramon Scott at Tony's Picks. All right, Ramon. Also, we have a Twitter account for you that you control. It's Tony's Picks Ramon with more content. Morning Steam returns again tomorrow. And, of course, we've got more content over on the Discord.
Yeah, Tony, check me out on Twitter. We're going to send out another play here probably in a little bit. I've also got my UFC podcast will come out today with my top-rated handicapper. I'm his host, but get a lot of great knowledge there that helps me out. So check that out as well on Twitter. And we're back more Morning Steam tomorrow. We'll find where we'll send out the search party and find Mindy and bring her back to get more winning selections from her tomorrow on the Morning Steam, and we'll just have another great week of action. Our Morning Steam team is in also on that yearly leaderboard, if you will, and that's not just me and Mindy, that's our chat too, because they're the real stars of the show. I didn't know it was going to be that way, but on the Morning Steam, the chat is the star of the show. So looking forward to getting back at it tomorrow. I don't know, maybe she just ran away from these cards, Tony, because they're so long today, and I'm looking forward to tonight's action for sure. So make sure you join us over there on the Morning Steam tomorrow, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, and 6 Pacific, and check out my embedded videos today on the Tony'sPicks.com website. I've got the leaderboard video with a selection in the total between the Blackhawks and the Flames, and I've also got another video lined up for you on our sponsored video, and that's coming to you in the game between the Columbus Blue Jackets. There it is, Columbus Blue Jackets and Toronto Maple Leafs. So I got more plays out there for you.
Yes, more plays indeed, guys. Check out the site over by the pick ticker. You'll see the Ramon thumbnail, which we're going to work on. We're getting all this thumbnail work done. A lot going on here with the programming, the live lines coming in, live scores. And we're also got more data, stats, and whatnot. We haven't got to that point of it yet, but lots of content coming here on our live broadcast streams, getting to professional, professional network quality is what we're aiming for here at Tony'sPicks.com live stream. But anyway, guys, you can find Ramon's embedded video there on the homepage. Also, click the premium pick tabs. You'll get the leaderboard update from Ramon. That's updated daily, so check it out every day on the Tony's Picks site. You can see the hot handicapper update that is updated by Ramon Scott there. So you get that free pick from Ramon on that leaderboard update video, so you're going to get a free pick. So you guys check that one out if you would. All right, Ramon, as always, great having you show. Thanks for playing around. This was fun here on a Tuesday. I think we'll add this to the game day picks arsenal for Tuesdays. Have yourself a great afternoon. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Well, I was going to grill you on the NBA card, but then I remembered you can just go watch Tony's video right now and get the whole NBA roundup. So.
That's right. All 15. All 13 games. Yeah, thanks a lot, NBA. Go ahead and play your games on Saturday and Monday. Okay, just do that. Don't put everything on one day. That drives us nuts, especially with these 15-game cards from baseball, which we're not complaining about because we love you in the summer and the rest of the season. But here it's tough with these overlaps, Ramon.
Oh, hey, that's the way it is. And look, you look up right now, and we just really have a couple games to go. So we'll be in the playoffs before you know it, and those are some fun games because you have one team favored over the other, but one team wins on the road, everything's all screwed up. You got to get those right. You want to get the ones right at home, right on the road. You just can't go with the same team always in the whole series. I guess you could, but that's no fun.
No fun that way. So
knowing the other team's going to win, they're not all sweeps. You got to be on the right side. Yeah,
you got to. And of course, next week we'll be in the play-in round. We'll have the 7-8 game, or maybe the 9-10. It'll be however it's functional. That's how it'll be. I think the 9-10 has their own game, and so does this. What is it? The 8-9, the 7-8. I think the 7-8 play, and then the 8-9, and then the 9-10 play in an elimination game. So and then the loser of the 7-8 plays the winner of the winner of the 8-9 the 9-10. I think that's how it works. Yeah, the 9-10 has to win too. If you can figure all that out. Easy for me to say. So that we'll be in that next week. All right, Ramon. Next Tuesday. All right, Ramon. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Give us a pick, Tony T.
You got it. We'll give you a pick here. Ramon Scott here on Game Day Picks. Guys, we're with you here on Game Day Picks Monday through Friday here at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, set those notifications, be live with us, get the plays in real time, get the best numbers, and participate in the chat because we include your ideas and your comments here on the show. All right, let's continue on here. It's time for my pick, and I think I almost gave it away on that last segment. It's okay if I did. I'm not going to sweat it. We're going to look at this game tonight between the Dodgers and the Rockies. We see the Rockies, their dogs here. Dodgers 248. Total sits here at 7.5, and I'm going to be on this over here. I'm like what I'm seeing from this Rocky lineup. Maybe it's the rules. Maybe it's the lack of shifting, and also the fact that the Rockies have been able to hit left-handers here since last season. They've been doing that. We know Jose Urias will be on the mound for the Dodgers. Like Urias, but he's not. I don't think he's that shutdown guy that we've seen. He does give some runs. He had some struggles there in the World Baseball Classic. He did open against the Diamondbacks, gave up 2 earned runs in 6 innings. I'm not really sold here on this Dodger bullpen. We'll see how that works throughout the season. But the Rockies are averaging nearly 4.5 runs per game on this road trip. And the reason why I think this is significant because they opened up in 2 pitchers' parks. They opened up in San Diego and in LA, and they're generating runs. But then, of course, their bullpen is still getting pounded. And it's really strange because usually they get off to good starts on the bullpen, and then they start to get pounded later as the season rolls. But so far, their bullpen has just been absolutely pounded to start the year. So we're looking over the total here. Forget about these West Coast unders, man. Forget about what I said yesterday. Go over the total here. Rockies here and the Dodgers over a total of 7.5. If they can get over in 39-degree weather in Boston, forget about that cold weather theory. It's that you can throw until they adjust these totals. We can talk about that a little in another conversation. But we're going over here. Urias and on the mound here, Ramon Varquez here for the Colorado Rockies, who's had his issues as well. No doubt. So and of course the Rockies bullpen has been a mess. All right, guys, check out Tony'sPicks.com. Tonight, I've got plays up there on the board. 4 premiums for you tonight. I got my best bet hit again yesterday, guys. My best bets, boy, this entire last since March, man, it's been an absolute pound in this best bet. A best bet up there right now for $15 is a premium, also a 3-pack combining Major League Baseball and MLB up there right now. So 4 premiums for you on the board tonight. Guys, so get on board. Or my long-term passes. Remember, 3, 7, or 30 sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time for you to select when you go to my handicapper page and you make that purchase. So go ahead and check us out there at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, let's continue on here on the show. Just Ramon and I on the show, so we'll make the recap short and sweet. Ramon like the Oilers Kings over 6.5, and I like the Rockies and Dodgers over 7.5. All right, guys, so make it a point to join us. I know there's no morning steam, but again, we'll do a rundown from Ramon as well here. We'll do it next week. So I had a lot of fun with that. Same. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're showcasing some of the new graphics we have. Live graphics. These are live graphics on our shows displaying the live lines as we speak. All right, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat room, as always, for joining us here in the room today. I think we had Scott Smart in there as well, Energy Clement in there as well. We saw Butterscotch Matt D in there as well, with his good comments as well. Darren Laron in there as well. Mark's Reviews, and as well in the chat as well. I'd like to thank and everyone else that watching on replay. I greatly appreciate that on the show. Maybe we'll put a note here about Ramon's rundown on the Discord. Of course, don't forget our Discord, guys. That's where the conversation continues. Over on our Discord, let me find it here. I've had to adjust my shortcuts now that I'm adding all this features to our show. I got to see where I put my little Discord button. Do I have a Discord button? I thought I did. Maybe I don't. I forgot. Anyway, guys, well, find us over on the Discord. That's where the conversation continues here. I'm just talking about my screen. I know we have one on the. I thought I had a Discord on my two-shot, but maybe not. I got to figure that out. But anyway, guys, click the link in the chat room, and that'll take you over to the Discord. That's where the conversation will continue when we are through from the show. You'll find a lot of picks in there, a lot of the contributions here from the community at TonySpace.com. We only advertise this Discord really on our live shows, so you'll find a lot of great. You'll find a lot of familiar faces there because everybody here on YouTube, they use their screen names on the Discord, so you guys know who they are. All right, guys, I'd like to thank everybody here for joining us here on the show. That's going to do it for our afternoon show today. Thanks for everyone for joining us here. And I'd like to bring in Ramon. We're going to wave goodbye to guys. You guys have a great